Day, or you're the underdog, or it's English, against the world here.
Absolutely.
So, tell me about how that evolved. It's almost like you take this and you channel it almost to the point of anger, so that you can focus on your vet. Tell us what this means to you and how you develop this.
This definitely has been a trait of mine since I was little. I've always kind of watched movies and cheered for the underdog, never the person who was supposed to win or supposed to be the person who you look at to have the big moment. And for me, honestly, I do channel it as anger. Once I get on the line, I'm a very emotional runner. I run with my emotions on my sleeve, and you can see them when I'm on the line. You can see them when I cross the line. And so I definitely take this as something that will propel me to have the performance that I need to have. To be honest, the ARC thing kind of started in the fall this year. Me just recentering myself and working on myself. I started reading a lot and reading, stories, David and Goliath and the Noah and Daniel and the Lion's Den and little stories like that I've heard as a little girl, but kind of interpreting them and putting them in my life. And the person that I felt like I grasped to the most was Noah. And I felt as though, year after year, I've watched people have what I wanted. Year after year, I've watched 3 talented women stand on podiums where I was supposed to stand on. And for me, I didn't want that to happen anymore. And a lot of, meditation and training, and now I'm in a position where I'm at where I know exactly what is inside of me. I know what I am capable of doing. I know that it is something that a lot of people, when they watch me, that they won't even believe that it happened. But I'm just waiting for it to show.
You've bringing it all together this year, starting with Pre, and then, followed by Rome and Birmingham. You had sort of this furious week of some great sprinting. So, tell us, was it the long build-up from the fall that you talked about? Well, what other components helped you sort of emerge this year? And my follow-up on that was, are you really the underdog here? Are you the underdog you say you are here? You've got the 3rd best time in the world.
I always say that times really don't matter, Yeah, I had the 3rd fastest time in the world, but if you look on every prediction for this year and see who's going to make the team, I'm never in the first spot. So I would say I am the underdog. The target really isn't on my back. It's on the other women. I'm always looked at as the person who has a really good series of races and then she falls off and she doesn't perform in the big meets. And this year is my goal to change everyone's mind. This year is to actually come out there and shock the world, as I always said when I was younger. So, for me, I would say it was a build-up from the fall, but my workouts have been going so well since I came to train in November. And so, since I knew they were going well, we modeled my meets out like that. We wanted to run very little meets, but very strategic meets, And that's why I went the way I went. And so when I had the surge, it kind of fell into the plan that we already kind of had since the fall.
My last one, and then I'll let other people do this, but why are you so successful at Hayward Field?
Hayward magic. There's only one explanation for it, When you know how to use it, you can use it to your advantage. And it's something that, I've learned as a freshman in college here at University of Oregon was, when Hayward magic comes, it does something to you. And I guess it treats ducks a little bit special, so.
Anyways, what happens to the ARC if it doesn't rain?
Oh, it will rain. Is that I can smell it. I don't know if you guys can smell it, but I can smell the rain. If it doesn't rain, it eventually will. This is not something that I'm saying that, it's going to happen this year. I'm praying and hoping and wishing that it does. But for the most part, I have no doubt that it's going to rain. And that's kind of my outtake on this year, is that I can't have doubt. I need to be confident, because that's what my event is about, having swagger, having confidence. And I found over the years I would have it and then I would lose it. And this year I kind of changed that whole thing, is I know I'm ready. I know I can go out here and I do what I need to do. I have very great competitors out here. But honestly, if I just beat English, I'll be fine. And that's kind of been my little role model. And all those performances that I've had earlier this year, I was completely loaded. I was in the weight room. I was doing longer workouts. I was not doing any speed work. And leading up to this event, I've shortened things. I've worked on tactical race components. I've gotten out of the weight room. So if I'm doing amazing things loaded, there's just what's going to happen when I'm unloaded, and so that's what I'm excited to see. That's what the anticipation is for me, is to see is it going to drizzle or is it going to downpour, you know, and that's where I'm at right now.
As a Duck, what's the biggest lesson you learned from Coach Johnson?
The biggest lesson I've learned, honestly, he's always been the type of guy he was totally opposite of me. He was low expectations, high outcomes. And I've always been, no, I expect myself to be the best in the world, and so I'm going to be the best in the world, you know?